Okay, everyone, we'd like to get started and welcome Kris Kim to the interview room here at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson 2024. Kris, you're making your PGA Tour debut here after receiving a sponsor exemption. What's the anticipation been like, I guess I'd ask you, since you received the invitation and now the day is here that you're joining us?
I mean, it's been pretty interesting. It's been a dream of mine since I've started golf, and to finally be able to play on this platform is incredible for me. The week so far has gone so great, and hopefully I can just play good golf and make it to the weekend.
Talk about the week so far. You're 16 years old. When did you arrive on site? How much have you seen the golf course?
I arrived in Texas on Sunday. My first round was on Monday. I think it's pretty nice, of course. The weather's been pretty good so far, but yeah, hopefully it stays the same.
And how do you think the course sets up for your game? What are your strengths in your game, and you know, do you see something visually at the course that you think might work for you?
I'd say I'm pretty well-rounded. I'd say off the tee I'm pretty average length, but yeah, short game I'd say it's been pretty sharp out there. But yeah, overall I think the course matches me pretty well, and yeah, some pretty good scoring hopefully.
And before we take some questions, I'm sure you've run into a few players already during the first few days. Is there anybody that's kind of stood out to you that you've met that you hadn't met before?
I met Jason Day around 30 minutes ago, and he's so nice. So yeah.
Well, he was in here right before you, so we'll get some questions, and if anybody has a question, just raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. And we'll start with Kevin over here on the left.
Hey, Kris, could you talk a little bit about how you got into golf? How old were you, and what kind of drew you to the game of golf?
Probably first hit a golf ball when I was around 5. My mum used to play on the tour, so always used to watch her, and then ended up falling in love with it myself.
Did you have any favorite kind of players on the PGA Tour growing up that you followed, or DP World Tour, that you enjoyed their game or how they approached the game or their swing?
Probably Rory when I first started, because he was playing so well back then, and yeah, he's still playing well now. So. Yeah.
And you've played against Miles Russell before in different things. What are your impressions of him? And did you see he made history last week as the youngest to make a cut on the Korn Ferry Tour?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a really good golfer, and he's a pretty nice guy as well. So, yeah, congrats to him. Hopefully I can do something similar this week.
Questions? We'll go to MK on this side.
Hey, Kris, I'm just curious. You're 16 years old. This is your first start on the PGA Tour. What does an average day look like for you, whether you're at home and on the road?
At home, usually I've got school, so that will probably go from 8 till around 4 o'clock, and then I'll try to get as much practice in. But yeah, most of my golf is done on the weekends or on the rest days, pretty much.
How many hours a week would you say you practice or you're on the course?
I try to get as much as possible in. On the weekends, I'd say I'm on the golf course for around 8 hours, but yeah, otherwise I just try to get as much in as possible.
This is my last one. You said you just met Jason Day. Is there any player in this field that you really hope to get some advice or be able to meet?
I think all the CJ guys have been really great to me, but yeah, I think overall, like, everyone's been so great to me, so yeah, I'm pretty happy.
We'll go to Paul next to us, over here on the side.
Hey, Kris. Just wondering the story of how you found out you got a spot in this tournament, and what your emotions were like when you heard the news.
I think I found out about a month ago, and yeah, it was a crazy phone call. My manager Jimmy actually told me, and yeah, I was over the moon for the rest of the day.
How much impact did your mom have on you growing up in terms of, was she your swing coach, the person you relied on all the time? What was that relationship like as you picked up the game?
She's been my only swing coach, so don't really know anything else, but yeah, she's been really great. Don't think I'd be as good without her.
Do you have family out here with you or people that have come to support?
Yeah, my whole family, and then a couple of my managers from the team.
Any nerves so far? Do you expect that to come on Thursday?
I think there's always going to be nerves, whatever tournament, but yeah, just going to focus on my game and see where it goes.
Kris, you mentioned school earlier. Do you have any assignments with you, or is school out for you this week?
I've actually got like exams to pass English high school 3 days after I get back, so try forget about them for the time being and then focus on them on the flight back.
Gotcha. We'll take one from Matt.
Kris, you talked a little bit about the nerves that might come this week. I'm just wondering, do you have any tips or anything that you lean on to stay mentally strong when the tough times or the stressful times come?
I think to take shot by shot at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself, because there's so many holes out there that like can be scored well or can be scored bad. So yeah, I think shot by shot at a time, and then forget about scoring, to be honest.
Kris, you mentioned Miles Russell and playing against him in the tournament earlier, the 23 Junior Ryder Cup. Is that the biggest stage you've played on, or has there been other events that you've played in that you've felt like it's a little more elevated?
Probably the biggest, to be honest, field-wise, and then like having fans there as well, and the course setup being pretty similar to here, I'd say. So yeah, I mean, that was really good for me, because that was probably the first time I ever played in front of a crowd. So yeah, got a taste for it for the first time.
How did you feel like you managed that situation, being the first time in that situation?
I think it's good to have a caddy, because I really lent on him that week, and I probably will this week as well. But yeah, I think I'm pretty good under the crowds.
All right. Anything further for Kris? Yeah, have one from Kevin.
What do you love about golf, would you say?
Everything, to be honest. Whether you hit a good shot or a bad shot, there's always another shot to play. So yeah, I think always trying to hit a good shot right after keeps me in it.
Got a Rex at Golf Channel over here.
What is the first major that you remember as far back? It's obviously not 2008 with Tiger Woods, but it would be Rory's last major. Like, what's the earliest in your memories of watching golf and being a fan?
One that stands out to me is when Rory won the PGA in the dark. Yeah, that's probably the main one.
Thanks.
Kris, do you play any other sports? Have you been involved in any other activities apart from golf?
Not really, to be honest. Being from England, people expect me to support a football team or something like that, but yeah, that's too much for me.
All right. We appreciate your time and have a good tournament this week.
Thank you very much. Thank you.